One thing that ties you and a laid off coal miner from West Virginia is the fact that you're both the working class.
Yeah.
And as we've talked about before, I do genuinely believe that it's a lot easier to organize on class and then educating people on like marginalized identities and how they tie into class than it is trying to do it the other way around.
If you build solidarity between two workers, one who is white and one who is black, the racial tensions they may still have to be worked out later, but in the moment, you're fighting for the same thing. And
Exactly.
You are building that solidarity on your working class.
Yes, that's right. Genuinely believe we'd be unstoppable. But what the ruling class is really good at is divvying us all up into little fucking boxes, and then we fight against one another instead of recognizing our shared collective interest, right? And that is what will lead us to ruin. It's what's led us to Trump. Because for every like positive sort of identitarian movement you can have, there's the negative one, right? To me, Obama and Trump are the same coin. You know,
right.
It's not that they're exactly the same, but in the sense that you don't get Trump without Obama.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Like you don't get that movement without him. And so I think that's why people should read Adolph Reed, because he's busting a lot of political myths. He's also making you think clearly about things that might make you feel a little uncomfortable. Like especially as like a white person reading it, you feel a little uncomfortable because you're like, oh, I don't know. Am I okay to? But ultimately, like he's got a great part of the book where he talks about how a lot of his sort of working class, populist rhetoric often gets used in the service of racists, people like David Duke or whatever.
Right.
And how we have to really fight back against that and actually provide like a real working class alternative. Ceding working class politics to the David Dukes and Donald Trumps of the world is why we're in such a mess.
Yeah, that's right.
And so because, the American public, if there are only really two options, they'll do it. As the election showed, they will leave the Democratic fold and they will vote for Republicans who again have that like patina of radical opposition, but in reality actually have conservative politics. Yeah. And that's I think that's really relevant. So
I think like I